Testing. Good morning, Arab. I just wanted to make sure if you guys can hear me clear so we can go ahead with the markets right away. Right, so Apple was down big in pre-markets because like I just saw a news saying that they're going to like halt the production of iPhones. That's not good. Apple is down big. Either two things might happen today. Apple craps his pants, bringing down the entire market with it, or the entire market is gonna bring Apple up with it. But right now SPY is opening right at resistance. Apple is down big. Probability is to the downside. So let's see what's going on. If you are trading SPY today, watch out for 397.30, watch out for 395. Those are pretty important to the downside, and 394. If you break below 394, gonna get risky. See, we just opened at 398. Watch out for SPY to run a test to highs of yesterday, which was at 400. So let's see what's going on. So today we are watching Apple, we're watching SPY, and we're watching Dollar Tree to see what it's gonna do. Apple, where are you? Oof, 137 and still falling. Oh, the other big tech's doing good here. Amazon, what are you up to? Yeah, Shopify is down 2%, Amazon is up 1%. All the other sectors are pretty good. Like Nasdaq is down considerably. Let's say if we reverse the direction in SPY and then come all the way down to run a test to like 397, because that's where we got rejected multiple times. So what are you guys watching for today? Anything good? Oh, here we go. Oh, DLTR, that's nice. Opened above the 50 SMA. If we hold on to it, we might run a test to 161 again, but let's see. Interesting open here, boys. SPY is capping up here. Bonds are pretty stable. Apple is not stable here. Best Buy filled the gap and still ripping higher. If you are trading Dollar Tree, keep an eye out for 161. That's a strong resistance. If you can't go above 161, most likely scenario is we are going to break the 50 SMA and 158 is not going to hold. So let's see, it's either 161 and above, or we're going to just be range bound between 161 and 158 throughout the session if you're trading Dollar Tree. Yeah, if you're trading SPY, watch out for 400 and 403. So those are the two important numbers. And let's see what Tim Apple is doing. They're holding on to 137. So let's see for how long. That's the question. Can they break above and go all the way to 140 or 145? Probability is less, but not totally off the cards. Let's see. If Apple breaks 137, we are going down to run a test to 135 or 132. Those are the two numbers you have to keep an eye on. Apple to the downside, SPY touches 403. I'm trying to run it down. Yeah, that's actually a good trading plan, not gonna lie. I am watching the same levels in SPY as well. Let's see if we break above 400, that's good. If we break, and that opens door for 403. Breaking above 403, what's next in cards? Breaking above 403.50 opens door for running a test to 405 and all the way back up to like 408. So, but this week expected move is only to 402.50. So let's see what we have on cards. Tesla is coming back up here. If you can't break above 667, Tesla is a short here as well. Nasdaq is slowly turning green. If you're trading QQQ, keep an eye out for 293.50. 293.50 is important. If we break above that, we can run a test to 296. Let's see what BBY is doing. Oh, BBY just filled the gap to the upside and now trying to run a test to like $84 up north, which is the 20 SMA. If we get rejected over there, which is pretty important, we can come back all the way. We can come all the way back down. The BBY has been respecting this trend line, which we have drawn from the lows of their day before earnings. Let me remove off all this jittery so that you can see it clearly. You can see this trend line over here, which has been respecting. So if you do fail here, we can come all the way back down to run a test to that trend line, which is at $74. I'm not saying it'll happen by today, I'm not saying it'll happen by tomorrow, but with the trend considered, overall trend intact considered, that's something to keep an eye on. And here we go. Did we take out 400? Yep, 400 in SPY. So now we are testing the bottom of that gap, bottom of that range, 400 and 403, which was, remember these two numbers? This is the gap which we opened last year on April of 2021, if I'm right. So that's where this gap came from. So the bottom of this gap will be acting as a resistance now, and the top of the gap will be acting as a resistance as well. The bottom of the gap comes in at, let's see, 468. The top of the gap comes in at 403, which puts us in the same ballpark. ATR is at $9 today, so 398 to 9. So the best case scenario is we go all the way to like 408 today, or the worst case scenario is we get rejected here and come back down to like 397 or like 394. So those are the two areas which I'm watching on SPY for today. Either we break above 403 and go all the way to run a test to 405, or we're just going to consolidate at 400 to 397. So let's see how the day turns out. Apple is recovering with SPY. So as I said in the opening of the stream, either two things can happen. Either Apple recovers along with the SPY and then pushes higher, or it's going to bring down the entire market with it. The canary in the coal mine. So I did grab a play on TLT. Do not take it. It's a risky play. It's kind of a, let's call it a hedge. I wouldn't call it risky, but it's kind of a hedge. We are getting GDP reports tomorrow, I guess. Yeah. So if we do get some goofy ass reports which tells us that another negative print in GDP, yields will drop like a rock, which will lead to bonds ripping higher. So that's something I'm watching for. And also that also signals a recession. 2 consecutive negative GDP prints, it's not good. So let's see, Apple is shooting up higher here as well. So interesting. They're bringing up Apple. Let's see if we can take 140 in Apple. If we take 140, open stores for running a test to 140.50, which was the 5 EMA, or all the way back up to like 143 if we have a really bullish day on SPY. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding playing Costco for earnings. I would just recommend stay away from it because the IV is so much higher. It's like they are pricing in a $20 to $30 move for earnings. You don't want to be any part of it. Make sure to stay away from it. And you can play it after earnings. Once the premiums in the option settles a bit, you can play after. So not before. Premiums are so expensive and it's not worth it. At some point it's not worth it. So even if Costco moves like $10 after earnings, you'd still not be making any money on any, even in the money contracts. So that's how mad that is. So we don't want to be a part of it, so we're going to stay away from it. And if you are trading Costco, at least for today, for the IV jump, keep an eye out for 460. That is important. Tesla, I just covered Tesla a few minutes back. Keep an eye out for, yeah, as I said before, we got rejected at the same spot, 667. We gotta take out 667 in order to even consider higher numbers like 700. So if Tesla can't break above 667 up north, watch out. SPY is nearing resistance as well. So let's see if they are just gonna like hit 403 and then do that floater operation for a while between 400 and 403 for the rest of the day, or if they're gonna plummet down to run a test to 397. Do not go all in on shorts until 397 is taken to the woodsheds. Be very careful with it. 397 is very important. Here we go, the rejection. We are getting closer and closer to that 20 SMA, which is currently sitting at 402.49, 402.50. So if you guys are following my channel, I clearly mentioned like we are headed towards a 3-day weekend, right? Every day there is a long weekend or a long 3-day weekend, volume tends to die completely. Low volume means it's really good news for the bulls, which pushes the price higher. There won't be any sellers, and low volume tends to be a good news for the bulls. We do have technicals correcting a bit, favoring the bulls as well. So as long as price stays above 397, the probability of us running higher is considerably high. So let's see. That doesn't mean it has to happen, but that's how it is most of the time. Let's see what sectors are doing. Oh, all the sectors are red. Interesting. Interesting. What is leading? Industrials are leading the pack, followed by energy. Oh, followed by biotech. Oh, nice. Nice. How is my baby Merck doing? Oh, Merck is stalling out here. Apple struggling at 139. Let's see, interesting day, boys. SPY is nearing closer and closer to run a test to that 20 SMA. That's a beautiful green candle. Be very careful, we are nearing resistance here, 402.50. Very, very important number. keep an eye out for it. If we get rejected there, we are coming back all the way down. So did any of you guys made money with Dollar Tree? Did any of you gamble? That was a huge gap up from like 130 to like 150. Interesting. Hola Mario, look at took my profit on M, still think that Apple will come down. Yep, as long as it's below 140. Not disagreeing with you. Oh, Macy's, that's a big gap up as well. Nice. Good play, Sorceress, congrats. Good morning, y'all got in and got out already on SPY. Yep, if you are trading SPY, watch out for 402.50 and 404. So those two are important for now. So we are, if you didn't go long yet, I wouldn't recommend going long here. Wait for it to either break above 403.50. If you didn't get long at open, just wait to see how the price is reacting at these levels, because we are nearing a strong resistance here. And if we are not breaking above it, most likely scenario, we're gonna break down and fall apart. The first 15-minute candle closed there, so let's see. Thoughts on Tesla? We just talked about Tesla before. 667 is something to keep an eye on. About 667 opens door for 680 and 700. DLTR was wild. Yeah, I know, right? It's a big gap up. Reminded me of the time where like they announced they're gonna increase their prices from $1 to like $1.75 on all their products. They gapped up from like $90 to like 120 to 130. Yeah, it reminded me of that. Dollar Tree is capable of having these gap ups, but is it worth the risk for earnings? I don't think so. Costco is an interesting one, not gonna lie. If it wasn't for the earnings, I would have taken the risk over here. We did have the numbers on point, so we did bounce from 414 and we did close above 439, and now we had a big gap up, optimism. So let's see. Tesla got rejected at 667. Watch out here. Apple is struggling, Tesla is struggling. What's Nvidia doing? Did we go positive on that? AMD is positive. Looks like Nvidia turned positive as well. Let's see. Oh, not yet. Not yet. No big damage though. I mean, we are right back to where we traded at yesterday, so they did open about 160 and started pushing higher. So let's see, like there are some cracks which I can see clearly. Microsoft, oh, this is good. Microsoft can run just to like 266 here as well. Everything is coming into resistance right now. Interesting. Did Google break above the range yet? Oh, we're above the range in Google. Let's see, if we close the day above 2130, that will be of something important. So because the range which we had is between 2130 and 2000s, let's say. So I want 2000 in Google to be tested so that I can go long on it. This was the range which we had from February 2021 to April 2021. So let's see if Google can go and break about 2150 for the day. If we break about 2150, longs are on. Until that point, we are going to have this range open to the cards between like 2000 and 2130. Right, Apple pushing here. Let's see if we can take it. If we take 140, it's gonna be interesting. Interesting indeed. So if you guys are enjoying, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. I do post videos regularly. If you guys find it helpful, hit that like. Appreciate it. Oh, Tesla's back above 660. Right, let's see if we can break about 667 in Tesla today. If SPY breaks 403, Tesla will break 667 as a sympathy with the index, and we will push higher. That's what Apple is doing right now. Even though the news was terrible that them halting the sales of iPhone, I'm pretty sure Apple will come back down eventually, because right now we are going back higher because SPY is going back higher. So remember the trend is still to the downside, so that's something to keep an eye on. It is pretty common to see bounces like this in bear markets, but it's very important to not forget the big picture, which is we are in a downtrend, and bounces like this are pretty common in downtrends. Let's see, Apple is pushing higher here. Indeed we are hitting 402. I got like have a lot of lines in here. Let me switch it up. Close it. Yep, here we go. Alright, so we do have the 20 SMA coming in right at 402.50. We are getting there, 402.50. Make sure to scale out a bit. If you didn't scale out over here already, make sure to scale out a bit here. We might stall out a bit if you got especially if you got the 1-day expiry options, right? So if you got 0 DTEs, don't lose your money to theta decays just because the SPY has just been holding around from 402.50 to 400 for a while. We'll take it from there. Let's see if Apple can close candles above 140 before SPY coming back down. If Apple can close the day positive today, that will be interesting. Back to the levels of yesterday like nothing happened. Caterpillar had a good gap up today. Caterpillar can go all the way as high as 216 if we kept pushing higher. I'm sorry, let's say 215. That's a good number. It's a $3 move to the upside. I'll take it. I'll take it. Caterpillar is something interesting to watch. Best Buy got rejected. Of course it did. Of course it did. We filled the gap in Best Buy. Keep an eye out for that. If I mean, for some reason, if you're still holding the puts, so watch out for 81.95 in Best Buy, and to the upside, watch out for 83.83. So those are the two numbers to keep an eye out for. HT, what's HT doing? Oh, HT is breaking 300. Nice. Coming back into the resistance again, 304. If you want to take a chance here, you can, because I think we gapped up a little bit higher on earnings and then like we came right back down because we got rejected. She called out Macy's 2 days ago, unless I'm wrong. Oh yeah, she did. She did. Let's see, for Macy's, we got a break about 2280. That's level been acting as support multiple times. Now leading into today, it'll be acting as resistance to the upside, so something to keep an eye on. Wait, we got to see snow. Didn't it get mollywopped yesterday after earnings? Are we going higher? Well, we are going higher. Of course we are. Of course we are. If we are trading snow, what do we have? Is this the falling knife? I'm pretty sure it's not. Oh, it is indeed. Like, IPO'd at what price? $245. Holy shit. It'll be crazy if the stock closed the day in green. Absolutely insane. What do you guys think? Do you guys think if snow can go all the way to close the day above 127 today? Do you guys think that's possible? Apple pushing now. Apple back to green. Interesting. SPY is bringing up Apple alongside with it. The question is, will it last? SPY is just hanging out around those 420.50s. There'll be one big green candle to take that out, and then like we'll just stall out for the rest of the day. Let's see what we have on cards. So, are you guys watching anything else? Looks like Amazon is up big time. Amazon is up big. Google is up big. Tesla. Yep, here we go. Here we go, Tesla. Finally. Finally. Let's see if we can run a test to like 700 or 680s or 700s. Interesting to watch. Tesla, my Tesla. Let's keep an eye out for snow. Something interesting which I have noticed with any stocks which's been doing this shit, right? Make a new low and then like plummet all the way down, only to close the day 6% or 7% higher, and then gradually sell off for the rest of the day. Yep, I know. That's what I was saying. Like any stock which looks like a falling knife, once it makes a new low, it always rips higher and close the day in green massively, only to sell off in the upcoming days, like bit by bit. So something interesting to keep an eye on. I am watching 128 on snow, which is like $8 from here. So let's see if we can take it by today. Very much possible. But it has to take the highs of the pre-market. So let's see. I secured profits on Apple. I cut it. I don't want to hold it any longer. SPY is coming into resistance. It's a risky play. Here we go. SPY testing the 20 SMA. Will it break or will it not? That's an important question. We are trying to break a bow. Let's see if it lasts for long. Palantir is one relentless son of a bitch, huh? It's never wanted to go below $8. Just been respecting the range. Trapped a lot of bears in here with this candle and then ripped right back up. What's PayPal doing? PayPal is coming into resistance as well. Airbnb, $113. What the hell happened here? Fucking hell, man. Last time I checked it, this shit used to be at 150. Look at this, 3 days to wipe out years of gains. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I mean, if I look at Shopify, that Shopify makes any of the crashes looks like it's nothing. Look at this shit. 1,750 all the way down to $300. Imagine going long on the stock over here only to like see it down to 300. Absolutely mind-blowing. This is something interesting as well. I was keeping an eye on BRK, Berkshire Hathaway. It erased all the gains it made on 2022, just like that, easily. 2022 gains, poof, gone. In matter of like how many days? Let's go to the weekly chart. In matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In matter of 6 weeks, everything is done. Now they are bouncing off from the 50 SMA in the weekly, so let's see if we can go all the way up to like run a test like 323 someday. If the market recovers, yeah, very much possible. Will it happen? Gotta wait and watch. Yep, looks like spying is going all the way to run a test to the gap higher, which is at 403.50. About 403.50 we are watching 405, so let's see. Looks like a trend day for today. Don't try to short this tape and then get cucked. Leave it on the sticky note. God damn, man, these candle sizes are just like unreal, getting bigger and bigger as we go higher. $403.50 is something to keep an eye on. Apple is a perfect example for why do you gotta keep an eye out for the price, especially if you're trading, if you're day trading, right? You can't day trade based on the news. Day trading based on the news is one of the worst things you can do to your portfolio. They did have a news today saying that they're gonna halt the production of all the iPhones for quite some time because of the production issues. Look at the stock. If you went short at open thinking that they are gonna go lower, you are done for, especially with the weekly options right now. With tomorrow being the expiration, that would have been expired worthless by now. So trading based off of news is just absolutely nonsense. I mean, you can see Snow, it had bad earnings. You can see Robinhood, for example. Every time they reported bad earnings, they closed the day at around like 10%, 20% higher. That's why I said whenever the stock makes a new 52-week low, right? I mean, not even 52-week low, new low. Let's say the stock has never reached that low before and it made it. You can see it every time it happened in Robinhood, right? They had a bad news here. They made a new low, ripped it higher. And this was the earnings. They made a new low here. Look at the day. They closed. They went all the way to $10. They dropped after earnings at 9. They went all the way up to like $10.80. Same with the last earnings as well. Last earnings was even more brutal. They dropped like a hot to make a new low at like $9. Look at where they closed the day at. $12.86. So this is something to keep an eye on because there is no levels to watch out for to the downside, right? So people will just flock in like thinking that they're calling the bottom or some shit to take the trade, and they will just push the stock to a massive extent to the highs, which will eventually be shorted. As you can see over here, like the trend will always comes into play. If you made a low here, they'll push it higher. They'll always come back down to run a test to the same lows which was made on earnings. So that's how it works most of the time. So that's something to keep an eye on. So you can observe it with snow over here. It doesn't happen with all the stocks, but that's the most possible scenario. So let's see. The highs of the pre-markets for snow. The highs of pre-markets for snow is at 120. So if we take out 120, watch them rip it all the way back up to like 127 or 128. Wait until we take out 120 in snow, because this is a new low for snow. And yeah, something interesting to watch. Like, can't say we can't go all the way back down to 70 or 60. It's not saying it's not going to happen, but something to keep an eye on. Every single company I have seen reporting their earnings, every single company, they always say like, nah, the macro forecast is not so good. The macro forecast is not really good. Like, we are slowing down and the supply chains are getting tougher and tougher to get. The prices are going higher. So we need to, like, increase the prices to like keep up with the profit margin. So like, more price you increase, the less customers are going to be buying your stuff. So it's getting bad out there. Same happened with Best Buy, same happened with Snow, same happened with Nvidia. Everyone gave a warning, but hey, we're not going into recession, right? Yesterday in FOMC, they never spoke a word about recession. What recession? Is it here? Is it there? I don't see any recession. I mean, if you guys own a restaurant or if you guys run a small business, you know what I'm talking about. Pretty sure you will be impacted with the raise in prices that the suppliers screw us over as well. So with it being a 3-day weekend, do you think the market will take back the profits that are made today? The trend is to the downside, man. With it being a 3-day weekend, the volume usually dies off, especially if it's a 3-day weekend, right? With the volume dies off, you can just expect a slow melt up operation. So if we close like this today, expect tomorrow to be a flat day, not so volatile, just flat day. Do we have any economic data tomorrow? Let me check just a minute. Economic calendar. So let's see. So for tomorrow, we have core PCE inflation numbers. So that is important. And did we get, what time did we get the gross domestic revision numbers? Oh, another negative reading. Nice, interesting. So we do have core PCE. PCE is, if you guys don't know this already, Federal Reserve doesn't take a look at the CPI like we do in order to make policy decisions. The number which they take a look at is PCE. So they are expecting the PCE inflation to come at 0.9%. If you get anything higher than that, that might cause some jitters in the market. That's something to keep an eye on. That's a really important data coming in tomorrow. We also have the consumer sentiment index. Pretty sure it's gonna hit another all-time low, but that's not gonna impact. If you're not trading bonds, you don't have to worry about the report which comes in at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So let's see, tomorrow we do have an important data ahead, and we might either just stall out and trade in between like 397 and 400, because since it's a Friday leading into a long weekend, that usually tends to be a day with a low volume. Hey Venkat, glad to be here. Great to be here in your live stream, bro. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Good to have you here. What's Dollar Tree doing? Is it still ripping, or we're just plummeting down? Oh, we're still holding. No, we're not actually. 155 is something important. So let me show you guys the alert which I sent out on Dollar Tree today morning. Like I had these two numbers on file, so let me check. So this is what we sent out today in our Discord. So watch out for 158. Any open near 158 or negatively sloping 50 SMA will lead sellers to step in. Do not fall for the gap up and FOMO in as long as the price captures 158 and holds on the level for some times. Did we do that? Nope. So below 158 we have 155, 152 and 148 in cards. So if price did not recapture 158.50 by the closing session for today, we are looking for running a test to like 155. What's the lows made for today? 156.07. What's the number I have? 155. So it looks like an unfinished business. Let's see if we can come all the way. No, that looks good. 156.06 is fine, and the next level we have over here is 155. So if we break 156, we can come all the way back down to 155. It's something to keep an eye on. So let's see how it goes. You think SPY puts at June 3rd is a good idea considering long weekends? Why do you have to hold anything through the 3-day weekend and give your money to Theta, man? That's like, you'll never know what's gonna happen in there. So what will you do if we get any news from Russia, Ukraine, from Putin's side saying that he's going to stop invading Ukraine anymore and he doesn't want it? I mean, you're going to hold it? Like, it's not worth it. Like, you can just wait for the market open on Tuesday. You like just enjoy your weekend. Holding a short-term expiry option through the long weekend, it's not a good idea all the time, especially if you have a good day on Friday, and it's not worth it. When the market open, you'll be already down a lot because of Theta decay, and it'll be a pain in the ass to just like lose money just for holding a contract. So we don't want to do that, do we? I mean, you can do what you want, but these are the pros, these are the cons of holding the puts to the long 3-day weekend, right? Your theta decay in the sense like how much your options decay as every day passes, that will not stop because the market is closed. Theta decay is 24/7. If the market is open or market is closed, it doesn't matter. When market opens on Tuesday, you will still be down big. So is it worth it though? You didn't even do anything, and even if the SPY moved in your direction, you'll still be down. So just like keep an eye out for it, because you never know how uncertain it is through the long day weekend. My favorite stock, I like Google, and I like Polestar, GGPI. So those two are my favorite stocks, and that I actually own. I personally own GGPI and Google in my portfolio. GGPI is kind of a speculative for me, but I like the car, so why not? Upstart, what's going on in there? I think sources in here actually took the trade in this one and wrote it all the way from like 28 to 50, I guess, if I recall it right. So got to check it up though. So, I mean, you do have the numbers in here for Upstart. So like they made a highs to $51, so you can keep that as a pivot. So 51.85. So if we do go higher, 51.85 will be the next place to keep an eye out for, because we did find support at $37. Will we go there by tomorrow? Depends. Will we stall out? Depends. So let's see. Enjoy your weekend stress-free. Exactly. I mean, I'm only saying this because your expiration was for 3rd of June. So if something expiring that close, like you got to think about it twice before getting it. So it's a total gamble holding it through the weekend, and it's kind of like not my type of trade. GME runs for earnings, made good money on calls. Good for you, man, as long as you know your risk. playing GME or AMC. I don't see anything wrong with that. The only problem I have with these people playing GME and AMC is like they just put their life savings, like the money which they can't afford to lose. Now that is not good at all. If you're playing with the money which you can afford to lose, go for it. Mario, what breed is your dog? I heard it in the background. Yeah, he's a golden retriever. He's an English cream golden retriever. Fucker is like 3 years old right now. Just been jumping around here and there. Piece of shit. Right, Baba and FB. FB did hold on to that 180 though, didn't it? This resilient son of a bitch. I was waiting for this to break below 180 and close the day below 180 so I can short it all the way to 172. But this bitch just like didn't want to close above 180. And it's like, it's fine, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, we might get it, like we still have like 10 or more percent to the downside and SPY is possible, so let's see. With the way the Federal Reserve is fucking us right now, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we get another 10%. Don't talk about yourself that way, Mario. Yeah, I mean, as the owner, as the dog, right? So, but I only play what I can lose on GME, but I make money in both directions. Yeah, that's good. That's what I said. Like, as long as you know your risk, like it's a really good trade. Really, really good trade. GME and AMC can make a lot of money if you know your risk and if you got the directions right. So good for you, man. Congrats. Baba. Oh, up 12%. What the hell happened here? Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Did it fill the gap? Okay, what's the next level on Baba? Okay, if they take out $94, watch out. If they take out 94, they can easily run a test to 97.40. 94 is very important. So that's the highest which we made at what date is 17th of May before reversing big. That number is important. So keep an eye out for that. If we don't break it, possibility of Baba to come back down to fill this gap at $84 is really high. This chart is one of the most ugliest looking chart I've ever seen. It's the definition of gap galore. Look at this. Gap after gap after gap. Unbelievable. I really, really hope that the CEO, Jack Ma, would have just shut his mouth and not run his mouth regarding this Chinese Communist Party. I mean, if you do that, this is what happens. What an idiot. I mean, I feel bad for people who's still holding this shit from like $180 though, not gonna lie. Like, they've been holding since 180, they've been averaging down at 160, they've been averaging down at 150, they've been averaging down at 140. I mean, that's the only problem which we have with averaging down. I mean, you love the company, I mean, that's a good thing, but stock price and fundamentals doesn't always align with one another all the time. So really hope people manage their risk, and if you're still bag holding it, and at least if you have like 100 shares, try selling calls. Delisting still ain't out of the questions. Yeah, exactly, especially with a warmonger like Biden in charge right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yesterday's interview actually shook me, like when he said like he will defend Taiwan with his military. I was like, dude, what? The virus got to walk it back again, so that's a good thing, but people, they really got to watch their mouth, man. They're doing shit like this, it's not gonna end well. I mean, especially for the economy. I don't care what they do. Like, I care about the stock market and economy in general. So, do you think SPY is gonna run to 405? Where are we at? If you break 403.50, I don't see why not. Volume is very, very low, so they will just push it higher. Ayo, who the fuck is this? Alright, boys, we have spammers in here. Interesting. Bro, go to the website and fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ. And YouTube really needs to do something about these spammers, huh? It's interesting. Just get them out of nowhere. If we break 403.50 in SPY, it's very much possible that we can run a test to 405. Can it happen by today? What's the ATR? We opened at 398 in SPY. ATR was at $9. So yeah, by ATR wise, it's very much possible. Very much possible. Apple 141. Nice. Nice. Interesting. The question is, will they break above 143? Can they do it? Pushing up north. Indeed it is. Indeed we are. What is your thought on SQ? I'm currently in the play call. Any thoughts? Alright, so let's go over Square and see what's going on in there. Another ugly looking chart, but we are basing out at $75. That's a good thing. And there is a resistance coming in at 79.83. If we break above 79.83, that opens door for running a test to $83. Above 83, we are looking at 87. So watch out for 70, which was the bottom here. Yep, 78, let's say $80. Watch out for $80. If we close above 80, open stores for running a test to like 83. Above 83, we are looking at the 20 SMA test. Interesting, something interesting to keep an eye on. Trend is still to the downside. Keep an eye out for that. So, yep. So look at all these stocks, right? It's just brutal. They say that the stocks didn't crash, but if you look at stocks like this, Peloton, look at this, 175 to like $13. Imagine going long on this company at 160 or 150 thinking that they're actually going to do something by selling treadmills. Disruption, right? I mean, this is why ARK is sucking dicks right now. Like, it's just absolutely unreal. One of the reasons why ARK is down like this, because they believe this is disruption. In another 5 years, they're going to do something big. Like, what the hell they're going to do? This is another example. Roku, from $400 to $87. Any stocks with good fundamentals don't crash like this. Shopify, 1,700 to like 300. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, we're at $42 now. Interesting. This is what you get for like not managing the risks properly. It's a perfect example. Say what you want about Cathy Woods or whatever it is, but if you start investing in companies, like start buying the downtrends over and over again, expecting it to like go back up once, it's like I just don't see it. If you guys can enlighten me, what's so disruptive about Peloton? just a treadmill with an iPad, right? Like, what's so disruptive about it? I mean, if you guys know something about the company, let me know. Very expensive, and it only speaks to a certain set of customers. Roku stock was never worth that much. Exactly. Exactly. If you think Roku was bad, you should keep an eye on Moderna. mRNA was one of the most ridiculously overpriced stocks out there. Look at this. It went all the way to like $503. Right now it's trading at 131. Look at all the companies which she invested in, right? All the companies, just absolutely ridiculous. Like she got Peloton, she got Teledog, she got Roku. What's so disruptive about Roku? Like, what's innovation in there? Peloton is good for drying wet clothes. Oh my god. Anyone could do the Peloton tech. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I have an iPad and I can just stick it to my regular treadmill and I can just call it a Peloton. Yeah, exactly. Peloton. That's what I said. It caters to a particular set of audience, and that's the reason why their stock is actually down big, because regular people can't afford it. That's like too expensive, and now they want to do a subscription basis, like now, so that like they can just keep charging the people who overpay for that shit. I still don't get the innovation part though. She always talks about disruptive innovation in 5 years, bro. It's gonna change the world, bro. Like my ass, it's changing anything. Fubo is another disaster, man. Like, bro, you won't believe. Few months back, like on 2021, we had this argument with all these people who holds companies like Wish, who holds companies like Fubo. I really had a guy told me that Wish is going to be the next Amazon and it's going to be 400 to 500 in next 5 years. Like, where the fuck did you get that prediction from? I mean, the people who give out price targets, right? Even with the analysts, even with the banks, they just pull it out of their ass. At the end of the day, no one knows what's going to happen. Look at Fubo, man. Like, where highs of like $80, I guess, $62 to, what is it, $3 right now? Yeah, $3. Nice. Wish is another disaster. It's a penny stock. Interesting. Guess that's what happened if you sell crack pipes for $1. $1.74. Kathy still believes in Teledog. I mean, she can believe in whatever she wants, but if she's right, let's see. If she's right, that's good for her. Yeah, this is what believing in a company does to you, I guess. I don't know. 309 all the way to $33. I mean, if you still believe in her, I don't know what to say. Like, do you guys actually believe that the companies which fell from like 80%, 90% from its highs are gonna go anywhere back to the same highs which it used to be trading at? Statistically speaking, only like 4% of the companies get back to the highs whatever they made a few years or like few decades or few years back. Take companies like Intel. Companies like Intel, one of the biggest semiconductors manufacturers out there, it still didn't get to the highs which it made at 2000s. I'll show you guys. It's interesting. INTC. Okay, so we're going into the monthly chart, all right? You see the highs over here for Intel? The highs for Intel is at $75, which was made on September 1st, 2000. Stocks only go up, right? Did we even touch those highs? No, we never even got close to those highs anytime soon. And look at it. The highs which we made was like $68. She believes Bitcoin will go to 500k in 2030. Yeah, as I said, man, she can believe in whatever she wants to believe, but market's gonna do what it's gonna do. I just hope her fund doesn't go bankrupt in like by 2030. let's see if Kathy exists by 2030. The ARK Invest, like that's something interesting to watch. If ARKK exists by 2030, then yeah. Work time, Mario. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. So this is what happens if you buy into the hype. This is a .com rally. You see this? This is what the .com bubble did. We rallied all the way up and then like completely crashed. The 1 month actually removed the gains of like almost like 6 months of gains. That's how bad it was. Imagine holding this stock only to realize that you just lost 6 months worth of gains just like that. What do you think about Bitcoin? I don't trade tulips. I don't have any opinions on those, and yeah, that's my opinion. I don't own any, and I don't like crypto, so I don't trade them. I don't know much about them. It's not like I don't like them. It's not about that, but I don't know about how it works, how it operates. I don't know about it, so I don't want to put my money into something which I don't know about. So simple as that. So what is our SPY doing? Sorry for the rant, boys. SPY is still not doing anything, so we're just like hanging around 403.50, and let's see if we can close the day above 402.60 for by the close. So that is something to keep an eye on. Interesting. What do you guys will do for something like this happens? Like if you guys notice what happened on Feb 2 2022 and Feb 8 2022 or Feb 9 2022, right? We put a bottom, we rallied up north way higher, or like how much percentage of rally we had. I think this is where like all this meet Kevin sucks bro, like he called a recession and he's wrong bro, and all this crowd came in, right? If you guys remember, right? I think this is where like meet Kevin sold all his positions and like he was getting bullied on. I mean, he's still a piece of shit, but still, like, this is where he got bullied on for selling his positions, and then he got into his positions over here, and now he's still getting cocked. But still, we've rallied up like 6%, 6.5% up north. So this is what bear market rallies actually look like. So from here, 6% is somewhere around, let's say we can go all the way, let's assume that we can go all the way up to like 408.50, right? 408.50, and if we got rejected over there, that'll be something interesting to watch. Like, are we gonna put another new low? Like, I do think SPY will go all the way to 350 by September. That is just a prediction. 350, very much possible. So let's see, by September it's coming. We do have a lot of downside to go if inflation didn't go lower, and if Fed is still not raising the interest rates like they used to. It's gonna end up pretty bad for everyone, not only the stock market but also for regular people like me and you. So let's see. Hi, thanks for what you're doing. You're welcome. How do you see Adobe over the month or two? Let's see, I should be having Adobe over here. Again, similar price action, similar haircut. It's in a downtrend. Given the trend considered in the broader market and in this individual stock and the macro and the fundamental wise, I am not bullish. I might be biased. You might be talking to the wrong guy here, because I am biased to the downside. But if you want an unbiased opinion, I mean, if you have anything, if you're bullish on Adobe or the entire market, you can give me a counter argument on why you're bullish, but I am not. So I wouldn't go long for like 2-month time frame or a 1-month time frame. It's trend is to the downside. You're betting against the trend, 1, and 2. SPY and QQQ, the broader market in itself is in the downtrend. Even if you get like 2-3 weeks out of green, 2-3 weeks of green day, the trend will always come back again. Like, the trend is to the downside, and the bears will always sell into the strength, and you don't want to get caught up on that. So Wait for the broader market to show decisive strength before going long with leaps or before going long with long swings or whatever it is. That will be my suggestion. You can do what you want, but if you are bullish on the broader market, you can let me know why. So I mean, I'll be happy to hear your opinions as well. But I'm not bullish, but I wouldn't take the trade if I was you. This is for Adobe. Like I will take a chance on Adobe at 384 though, not gonna lie. 384 is something interesting to watch, but if you break 384, Adobe has this tendency to like drop like a rock every time it does, and then like just have a slow melt up to the upside from the lows. But that is in a bull market. In a bear market, you got to be very, very careful, because Nasdaq is not in a bear market, and Adobe is one of the biggest holdings in S&P 500 as well. So watch out. If SPY falls, so will the stock. I mean, you're playing the trend, so that's a good thing. As long as it's not way out of the money, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So keep an eye out for the macro fundamentals and keep an eye out for the economic data which has been coming up. Like, for example, like we have CPI coming in, I think the second week of June. That's something to keep an eye on. And yeah, I mean, if the CPI comes in hot, then the market is going to take another leg lower, because 50 basis points won't be enough. But yeah, we are having spineless frogs as a Fed. That's what happens. They're not going to raise interest rates above 50. Inflation is not going to come anywhere lower, and then they're going to push the brake so hard, pushing us into a recession. So if that all those scenarios plays out, we will see another 10% downside in S&P 500 from where we are right now. If S&P 500 falls another 10%, Adobe won't be an exception. So not all the stock actually like falls like that though. Look at Merck. Like we've been down like what, 20% in SPY for the past 3 months. Look at Merck, how much it's up. Merck was up like from the lows, right? From the lows, it was up like 30%. There are some stocks which are still in a strong uptrends out there, which you can buy the dip on. Every time you see a dip, you can go ahead and buy the dips, because stocks like MRK, any healthcare stocks, they are in uptrend right now. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you are going to go long, look for stocks like this, not stocks like technology, softwares and stuff like that. But I do have an interesting statistics for you guys though. Every time the Fed increases the rates, every time they did, there are particular sectors which actually did good. They actually outperformed the entire markets, and one of them is software. And guess what Adobe is? It's software. But remember, this happened only 12 months. 12 months after the Fed raising rates. So not anywhere in the 2-month time frame, 3-month time frames. It's 12 months after. So let me see if I can pull that up for you guys, so like you guys can take a look at it. So that data is pretty interesting. Let me see. Macro and gain. So that it's just the statistics on like every time Fed raised interest rates until now, which sectors outperformed the markets in 3 months time frames, in 6 months time frame, and in 12 months time frame. Yep, here we go. I hope you guys can see this here. Yep, here we go. So as you can see, right, average returns around the Fed tightening and percentage of periods outperformed. So this statistics goes over different sectors of S&P 500, and it also tells us which sectors leads the markets after the Fed raises the rate. You can see software is one of them. In 12 months time frame after the rate hikes, Software is up. Software and services is up like 13%. Companies which come under it or Adobe. Companies which come under it will be like IBM, Salesforce. Companies like that. They tend to like be up like 13%, 62% of the time. I mean, that's a pretty good probability, you know. And sectors which tend to underperform are materials, retail, of course they do, and the consumer durables and apparels. So these are the sectors which gets hit, like followed by automobiles and components, like stocks like auto parts and all those stuff. They tend to underperform the market. So there's an interesting statistic. So once the stream is over, I'll share this in the Discord. If you're a member of my Discord, I'll share it in the announcement sections. If you're a member of Chris Saint's Discord, I'll share it over there in my tab as well. So this is something interesting to keep an eye on. All right, so is there a way to base the SPY trade of the ES futures? Yeah, that's what I always do. Like, I used to do the opposite, to be honest. I trade both. So I use SPY to trade ES, but you can do the opposite as well. So you can do the other way around. They both move the same. They both have the same price action, but the only difference is the contracts. The only difference is the positions and the margins and all those stuff. So you can do that. Google wants to move up. I'll be happy if it does. I'm down like 12% on my shares. Interesting, they're breaking out above the range, but you see the highs of the candle. The highs of this candle is sitting at 2152. If we close the day above it, it'll be an interesting day for Google. 2152 needs to be taken out. So if we take out that, we can run a test to like 2180. Until that range is taken out, I'm gonna stick to that price action, that the range which we have between 2000 and 2152 range. We're gonna stick by it. If you guys enjoyed the stream, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. I would really appreciate it. Financials are actually doing really good, you know, really good. I mean, still in a downtrend, but did you guys hear what Jamie Dimon said like 2 days back? I mean, like, I really don't understand what they're on about, right? Like few days back, he just came out and said recession is in cards and recession is inevitable. Yeah, and 2 days back, he just came out and said like, what recession? I don't see any recession. Like, it's one of the big reasons why you can't trust these crooks, right? If you read through what caused the 2008 financial crisis, you will start hating these fuckers, I'm telling you. These idiots played a major role in the housing market crash. The banks played a major role in the crash of the entire market, and they are the sole reason. The greed was one of the sole reason for that. So I would strongly suggest you guys to go ahead and read what happened in 1970 and read what happened in 2008. Sing a song for us, you know, you got a good voice. Fuck off. If you guys take a look at 1970s, right, we are having the same scenario. I mean, I do understand that there are some things which are different from 1970s, but there is awfully lots and lots of similarities between 1970 and what's happening right now. Inflation is higher, growth is slowing down, and economy is slowing. Inflation has no signal of like coming back down anytime soon. If one sector underperforms this month, the next month, they're the one who was outperforming. So gas prices went up to like $20 a gallon. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, the inflation went up like 20%, and it was absolutely unreal on 1970. The market didn't do anything from the time frame of 1968 to 1980. We've been range bound for like more than 10 years, not doing anything. So this is what we say, right? The markets, like, it doesn't matter if you made money or lose money, right? If you lost everything, you'll just quit and you'll be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not going to get into the market anymore. That's not the worst part. That is worse, but comparatively, imagine putting a money into something and not watching it grow or do anything for the 10 to 15 years time frame. Especially if you entered the market in 2020, your mindset is like stocks only go higher, but that's not the case all the time. If you take a look at 1970 to like 1980, market didn't do anything. They've just been range bound for like 10 years. Do you have the patience for that? That wearing you out stage is one of the worst things and worst place you can be as an investor. Like 10 years not doing anything, your capital just parked there lying around doing nothing, right? Inflation is up, so you can't like hold cash, because every time you hold your cash, the value of the cash decreases. And so you think like, I'll just put the money in stocks. That doesn't do anything either, because the market that's not gaining you anything for the 10 years. So one of the worst scenarios out there in 1970s. So if you guys are interested, I would strongly suggest to like take a look at it. So something to learn from fundamental side, and you can see how awfully similar 2022 and 1970 are. So that's a good read. Go ahead, check it out. SPY is not doing anything. Again, like we're just floating around 403.50. Michael Burry actually went short on Apple, you know. Did you guys see the news? He shorted Apple and he's still short Apple. So let's see how far low we can go. Like when he shorted Tesla, like on February of 2021, we went from like 940 all the way to 500 in that stock. So now he is short on Apple. So let's see, $80 by September, $80 by May, $80 by 2024. What do you guys think? Something interesting to keep an eye on. I mean, I do see the reason on why he went short though, because supply chains and the demand is getting lower. I mean, if you can't afford to buy food, who the fuck is gonna afford an iPhone, right? So I mean, it makes sense. The demand is gonna slow down. The earnings reports are gonna get softer and softer as the quarters pass, which impacts the stock price as well. Interesting. $100. Yeah, very much possible. I mean, I'm not taking anything off the cards. Like if you, I mean, like let's say right on 2021 when ARKK was trading at 170, and you just come out and say ARK might go to like $40. Any new investors would have just looked at you like a moron, right? So look at it right now. So I'm not taking anything off the cards. $100, yeah. $50, yeah, I'll take it. Anything is possible. So I'm having an open mind for everything. So let's see how the macro factors play out, and if you're gonna crash outright, or if you're gonna like just float around, not do anything for the next 5 years or 6 years until the economy recovers. Fundamentals always catch up, so you can't just say like bad news is good news, like the market will go up. It's easy to like predict what's gonna happen in 2 days, but it's almost impossible. Oh yeah, that's what, like the Vietnam, I mean, you can see, right, the Vietnam War was happening in 1970 and the inflation was going up. The government blamed the Vietnam for raising in cost prices, and That's what annoys me, right? When your own people are suffering out here, you're sending billions and billions and billions of dollars to support to fund the proxy war which is happening in Russia and Ukraine. It's just absolutely mind-baffling, mind-boggling for me, and I don't know, it just annoys me. Do you think SPY will wait till next week to sell off again? Uh, about that, we can, if we are going to run a test, we can go all the way to 408. If you want to take a shot on SPY, wait for it to go above 408 if possible, or wait for it to break below 400. Do not short here because we have no clear direction for now. There is no signs of reversal. Wait for a sign of reversal before going short. Below 400 will give you that, so you can go short below 400, or you can take the chance at 408.64 or 411.50. So those are the two places where you can set up your stops at. And speaking about Ukraine and Vietnam war, that's what I said, like 1970s scenario, and right now they're awfully similar, with the war, with the inflation, with the slow in growth, with unemployment will follow. I mean, unemployment will follow as the demand slows lower, but we had a record unemployment numbers in 1970. That's what led to a recession, and it was absolutely unreal. Like with the inflation at 20% and unemployment at sky high, yeah, that's the level of inflation which can topple the government. So it's like that bad. So as the Fed raises interest rates to slow the demand, it obviously causes the unemployment rate to shoot up higher. So that's coming, but the government won't tell you that we are in a recession until it's too late. So that's the problem. So they'll tell you 6 months after, and by that time it's already too late. So just have some cash reserves, just have like 3 to 4 months of emergency funds, just in case you lose your job, just in case something bad happens. So I'm just saying, be prepared. Thoughts on Tesla? Yeah, as I said, like I think we were talking about it today morning on the stream, right? So if you guys were on that, you would have known, like above 667, the probability of testing 680 and 700 is relatively high. So 700 is a strong resistance for Tesla. Keep an eye out for that. I know a guy who spent who spent like $14,000 on 660 calls in Tesla expiring October. $12,000. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he got it when Tesla was trading at around $660. I'm pretty sure like he will be very happy right now. He held on to it, he didn't sell, so I hope he sells it today. So let's see. He was like joking that this is my trade, and if Tesla falls below 600, my wife said she will divorce me. I was like, dude. Pretty sure he's stuck with her for another few years now. Oh, AMD is getting into the critical level here as well. Let's see, 98 is important. So all right, boys, SPY is pushing higher. Let's see, 404.80 will be next if we tend to have that push up. How's the volume today? I don't see much big volumes leading into a long weekend. I think if you guys noted, like that's what I said, like the week started, right? Every time there is a long weekend coming, always be careful with shorting the markets, because the volume will be low, and the sellers will be like, yeah, we will just wait for you guys to push it all the way up and we will take it from there. What technicals do you use regularly? Do you use Bollinger Bands? I don't use Bollinger Bands. I just use price action. I use ATR. Sometimes I use AVWAP. So those are the few things which I use. It's all about price action to me. I did use Bollinger Bands if I am selling iron condors, because it will tell me what the 2 standard deviation moves are. So it'll help me to figure out the strikes on which one to sell to the upside and which one to sell to the downside. The Bollinger Bands are nothing but like what you'll be getting, like the 20 SMA, and then like one at like 2 standard deviation above and 2 standard deviation below. So 2 bands at 2 standard deviations up and down. So yeah, it just gives me a idea on what price range to keep an eye on. So I used to use it, but not anymore, because I stopped doing iron condors for a while. So you won't see that in my charts. But in my original chart, you can see the indicators which I use. Let me show you. So these are the indicators I use. So this, I don't give a shit. RSI, I don't care what it does, to be honest, but it's just there for the sake of being there. But the main indicators which I use is ATR. ATR is average true range. It'll give me a estimated amount of move, what to be expected in a stock. For example, right now ATR is at $9.94, right? So you can see its SPY opened at $3.98. So for $10, it should mean that SPY can go all the way up to like 408 or 406 for the day, or go back down all the way to like 388. So that's what ATR is used for. Like, it'll tell you when to secure profits, it'll tell you where to set your stop losses at. So it's helpful. And I use moving averages. I use like 20, 50, 100, 200, and it's all price action. That's it. I tend not to focus too much on indicators, so I stick to the prices. That worked out pretty good. Like, the indicators revolves around the prices, right? The price is the first important thing, and the indicators are derived from the price of the stock. So I tend to give more importance to the price, and then in order to have a confirmation bias, I'll go for indicators later. Longer the downtrend lasts, more I expect the bottom to be slow, low volatility rounded bottom after the average retail trader has given up. We shall see. Someone from my Discord made a very good point. Interesting. He said the longer the downtrend lasts, the more I expect the bottom to be slow, low volatility rounded bottom after the average retailer gives up. We shall see. You can see it right over here. Interesting. Just so you know, these guys have been trading since like 1980s, you know, like very much informative. And this guy, Hajduck, has been trading since 1980s, and same with this dude. And we have one more over here named Axis. He does trading full time and still trading in 1980s as well. Imagine trading since 1980s. You must have seen everything, like 2000 crash, 2008, 2020, like they went 2018. It's absolutely unreal. I personally learned a lot of stuff from these guys, not gonna lie. Like, they taught me a lot when I started trading, and they're still there. So if you guys are interested, go ahead, join the Discord. Link is down in the description. You can be a part of it, be a part of a community. These guys are really helpful. My Roblox call from last week printed today. Do you think we have more room to go? Roblox. We played it to the downside on our Discord. Like, we played it all the way to like $22 when it got rejected at 30. It's sitting right over there at 30. So let's see if we can close the day about $30, right? Watch out for it to go all the way to like 31.64. About 31.64, we can run a test to like $36 again. So it's the same shit. Like, it's just been range bound, right? So watch out for any close about $30 today. If you want to be more specific, $30.08. So watch out for a close about $30.08. If you close above it, the next day we can go all the way to like $35 on Roblox. I wouldn't say next day, in upcoming days. I mean. So we can go all the way to like $35 in Roblox, and yeah, from there we should see. Like, if $36 breaks to the upside, then we'll go all the way to run a test to 38. So if you're already having a call, I would suggest, I mean, you can do what you want, but if it was me, I would just like scale out a bit here and then like add more red box. Oh, nah, fuck no, red box, nah, I don't touch it. Like, we actually shorted this stock actually. I mean, we did go long all the way over here, and it's having a squeeze again. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, these numbers, you can see it's been there all along. So watch out for $9.12. Watch out for $10.93. About $9.12, we can easily run a test to $10.93 or 12. So if you have a call and you got it today morning, I would suggest scaling out a bit here, $9.12, and about $9.12 you can go long again all the way to $10.93. So until it breaks $9.12, be cautious, because there's always a possibility that the next day they come all the way back down to test $7.18. So careful. Sorry about that, I read it as Roblox instead of Redbox. My bad. Alright boys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, I think I will call it a day for the stream. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys are interested in more of these stuff. If you guys want to hear me ranting about the markets and stuff, if you guys enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you guys can hit the subscribe button. Check out the Patreon, check out the Discord, link is down below in the description as well. Thank you so much for joining. See you guys in the next live stream, maybe tomorrow. Let's see. All right, take care boys, bye bye.